Hi, I want to share a video with you on the SIG MCX. I love this rifle. This is my go-to rifle. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to show you the takedown of it, cleaning of it, and the reassembly. This is different. This isn't your typical AR. This is a totally different system. So some of the things, the way I've got it set up, right here on the side, I've got a visible and IR laser. It's connected to this touchpad, so I can activate it with the touchpad. I've also got a light that's got visible light, and I can also switch it to IR light. I've got a suppressor. The sling, I can't say enough good about the Vickers v-tach sling. This is a 2-point sling. I think it's the best sling on the market. The thing that really makes it nice is this tab. I can shorten it, and then I can pull this tab and lengthen it. So I can suck it right tight to my body, and then I can deploy it out if necessary. So I can have it right there ready to go. I can still work on stuff, and I'm deployable. I think that's the very best sling out there. The other thing, we've got a Vortex Viper scope on it. This one is all in MRADs, not MOA. So all my math is very, very simple. It's all divisible by 10. I think MRAD is the way to go. There's a couple other features that I really like that I've got also on this scope. I've got an angle finder. So depending on my angle of my shot, I can find that angle. And then I've also got a level so that I can keep the gun super level for those really long shots. Added this nice little handle for my magnification. Makes it really easy, really fast. This does have an illuminated reticle, so I can turn a little bit of illumination on if I like it. And then of course, I've got all my adjustments, so I can dial on my dope, really zero in on something. Another something I'm going to show you, I have created this for most of my rifles. This is just my dope chart. So I've gone through this and I've figured out all of my dope. So depending on how far I'm shooting, I've got it all dialed in. So I know if I'm shooting at 650 yards, I'm going to dial 6.1 on my MRADs on my turret, and I know I'm going to be right in there. I've got this one all the way out to 800 yards. I can't imagine I'm ever going to shoot that anywhere past that. And at that distance, the 223, 5.56, losing a lot of energy. So 8.9 would be my dial on for that. I've got other videos that show how I create all this. But anyway, that's what I keep here. And then I also keep some notes on some math. So I can get that back in there without crinkling it too bad. So I can adjust for my slope. I know what my mover, my leads. I've got slope there, math for distance. But I keep that all handy, ready to go. Some more just notes and stuff there. And then what I can do with this is I can actually strap this right to myself, or I usually just kind of hang it off the gun, so I always have it with me. All right, now for the firearm itself. Let's talk about magazines. So this is basically an AR platform, an AR-like platform. So let's take the standard mags. These are some of my Magpul mags. Super nice, they work great. My favorite mag, however, I'm gonna share this with you, is the Lancer mag. If you can find these run like a champ. I really like them. One of the things that sets them apart is the steel top on it. So it's got steel feeding ramps instead of the plastic. These are great, and I've used them a lot. These are just amazing. So if you can find the Lancer mag, I would highly recommend that. Now, as far as ammunition, I do a lot of reloading. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that. I've got a lot of reloading. My favorite thing to reload is just a 55 grain full metal jacket. That's kind of my plinking round, my training round, and I load a lot of them. So these are when I go to the range, just training, stuff like that. This firearm does very well accuracy-wise. Typically what I've found is about an inch MOA. with military surplus, just your generic ammunition, even the green tip, about an inch MOA. PMC, about the same, maybe just a little bit better with a PMC. But just about an inch MOA. I have found if I reload, I can really shrink that down. So my 55 grain loads, I'm a little under an inch, but what I found that this gun really likes is the Sierra 77 grain. Match King, I think is what they call it. This one is super nice. I'm getting about a 1/2 inch MOA. So super accurate with that. And I've got all my data figured out in that 77 grain. That's the one that I'm gonna use primarily if it really matters. So let's talk about the takedown. I'm taking it apart. So let's go ahead and remove this sling, get it out of our way. This clips off. Now to take it down, what we're gonna do, we're gonna just use our takedown pins, just like an AR. And we're gonna press the rear pin first, and then we can push this front pin out. That will separate the lower from the upper. So this is where all of our trigger mechanism's at. So we can do a little bit of cleaning, maintenance, make sure everything's good that way. Most of your maintenance is all gonna come on this lower portion. So now once that pin is out, let's go ahead and remove this suppressor. We'll just set it aside. Once that front takedown pin's out, the end slides right off. So that comes off and comes right out of our way. Now, if we want to pull the bolt out, we can slide it right out. Now this is where it looks a lot different from your typical AR. You can see it's a totally different bolt carrier. Disassembly on that guy is really pretty easy. You got these springs, unclip, you can take those off. You can take these two little rods. Okay, pretty simple. Now, let's take our little punch. We can pull this little key out, and that will allow our bolt to slide out. Well, we're gonna pull this. 1 second. We gotta take the firing pin out. This is super oiled up. It's awesome. Now we can pivot. I hope you can see this. Pop that out. Now our bolt comes apart. Take our bolt apart even further. We can pop that pin, and we can get to the shell extractor. And we can even, right here, push that down, and we can remove that. So we're totally taking apart. We can go through and clean those parts really good, oil them up, but we don't want to stop there. Of course, we're going to clean the barrel, everything like that. But with this particular firearm, there's one more step that I want to show you. All right, I had to go run and find this Torx bit. So this one is a T27 Torx bit, and we take out these two bolts right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to loosen those up. So we can slide the barrel out. So now we've slid the barrel out. So now up in the front of this, we've got our gas. We can turn the gas to high and to low. What we want to do is we want to take this apart. This is probably the part that's most important that you pull apart to make sure that we get it cleaned. So what we're going to do You have to press this button and you can spin this all the way around. Now we can slide it out. Inside of here, we're going to push this little cylinder out. This is the most important part, that we keep that part clean. You can kind of see I've got it, it's kind of oiled up. Got cleaned pretty good the last time that I shot it, so shouldn't be too filthy. But so anyway, these are all the parts. We need to make sure we clean them really, really good. And then for assembly, we're basically going back in the order we came from. So that plunger goes back in there. We need to depress that little button as we turn. Okay. Now we can slide our barrel back in. Whoops. Okay. We can lock our screws back down. Oh, you gotta push on that. Okay. And this just kind of grabs that barrel, and I just want these nice and snug. I'm not going to over tighten anything like that. Okay, and to reassemble our bolt carrier, basically what we're going to do, you can see this has got a recessed area. So we slide from that direction, just like that. To put our bolt back together, we put our shell extractor back on. We put that little pin back in to hold it. Okay, now we're going to slide this back in, and we do it so that the shell extractor is right here so the shells can come out. And now we line this hole up. We drop that little guy down in there, spinning 90 degrees. There we go. Now, you can drop that firing pin back down in there. Make sure it seats all the way. There we go. That little pin goes back in, just like that. Let's see, we put that. We put our rods. We carry our springs. And of course, all these have been cleaned. I think, probably to tell you too, one of the best things I ever bought was an ultrasonic cleaner to put all these parts in. Usually I just use simple green in that ultrasonic cleaner, and it works great. Now this can be a little daunting, but what you're going to do is pull that spring, and then this little plastic cap, you're going to pop that back on and release the spring, and it will hold it. So hopefully I can show you on this one just a little bit better. You push that down, and that pops in just like that. And that's our bolt carrier group. So to slide that back in, we're going to put our charging handle. Come on. There we go. Make sure he's up in his slot. And we're going to drop that in just like that. And it all goes together just like that. One other thing I forgot to show you that I do like to carry, and I carry these, I carry some tools in this group. So what I've got in here, I've got a couple of batteries. That's for my laser or my light. And then I carry a set of Allen wrenches. This is all the Allen wrenches, whether it's a scope ring or the barrel takedown, anything that takes an Allen wrench, I've got a little set, an extra set of Allen wrenches. And I like to put it in the bag so it kind of takes up that space. and there's no rattle to it. That's pretty much it. Of course, we would be cleaning everything if we were really doing this. Put our lower back on. Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm going to slide this on because that goes through that front takedown pin. So we line this rail up. There we go. Slide it on. Now we can put our lower on. And drop it down. Rear pin. Ready to go. Pretty slick setup. Again, like I said, this is my most favorite platform. It's a SIG MCX. It's a gas system, so you don't have, it's kind of a gas piston system. So it doesn't run off gas like a regular AR does. Super reliable as long as you keep it clean. And like I showed you, that piston up there, that's very, very important. Usually when the gun's not running, it's because that hasn't been cleaned. That's the number one thing that I've seen that people kind of don't realize is in there, and it doesn't get cleaned, and then the gun doesn't like to operate. Anyway, that's pretty much the rifle. This has got a cool folding stock, so it makes it very compact. You can pop that stock out. You'll notice this little cheek piece here. One thing that I noticed after a long time of training and everything, trying to mash my face down into this to get a good cheek weld and good sight picture, I needed some padding. So we just threw some foam on, a couple zip ties. It works great. That would be the one thing that I would like to add something. Maybe a nice little black leather piece, something that's soft. But anyway, this works awesome. Doesn't get in the way of the charging handle. Works great. That's pretty much it. We put our sling back together. We've got some quick connections for the sling. And the front just clips on. And it is ready to deploy. Sling around. There we go. Yep, just like that. My favorite rifle platform right there. Hope that was informative. If you're thinking about building an AR, thinking about, wanting the top end, SIG MCX. I love my ARs. I have a lot of ARs. I've built them. I've done different things. This is still my go-to. This thing is accurate. It's reliable. I freaking love it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions at all on the SIG MCX, drop me a comment. I'd love to answer anything. And I'll share a few pictures of out on the range, training with this thing and putting it through its paces. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. All right, we're out in the desert. we're gonna shoot the MCX, and I'm just gonna show, kind of going through a little exercise, something that I like to do from time to time, just to try to keep things sharp. What we're doing, we've simulated three attackers. So this is just to help muscle memory, kind of show what we are capable of doing. We act fast, a good platform, runs nice. This is also an opportunity I wanted to take to kind of show you the sling. So I mentioned earlier the Vickers 2-point sling. So this is it set up, and I like this because it holds it tight to my body. I can pull this up and really suck it in tight. So if I need to work, I need to move around, and then I can deploy it just that easy. I can also set up my support triangle, so I'm nice and tight. I've got a good place to work. It's just convenient. I'm gonna just show you, here's a Vickers 2-point with a padded sling, and then there's also one here without a padded sling. So I think if you're using something and you're not, say, having body armor or something like that, the padded sling is really nice. Just a little more comfortable if you're gonna be wearing it for an extended period of time. And the way these work, it's just a loop. So then you can add in whatever you're gonna use to connect to your rifle. So I've got a couple of different styles on this one, a couple different styles on this one, and then there's a clip. You can kind of see how this one's set up. It's set up with a clip, and then also one of the little push button plugs. This is an example of a single point sling. I think they have their place. Maybe if you're kicking down doors, SWAT team or something, this makes sense. But otherwise, if I have a single point sling, my rifle or whatever is just swinging around, hitting me. I like the Vickers 2-point. So we're going to engage these multiple targets. What I'm going to do is simulate running out of ammo and then a transition to a pistol. It's been a long time since I've done this. Let's see how. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. Maybe start practicing that a little bit more. That should be a little cleaner, a little faster. Anyway, you kind of see how awesome this platform is. Like I showed you before too, I've also got set up with light and laser. See if we can't turn this on and I'll show you. Okay, we'll try this one more time. This time we'll engage the laser. So you'll be able to see that on the target. We're out in the daylight, so it's not going to be super bright. You can imagine low light, just what the laser is going to bring. You can kind of see it popping up on the target. So we're going to do it this time with a laser. Super fast. I love the SIG products. I am not in any way paid by SIG. I don't receive anything from SIG. This is just purely my use over the years. They make an awesome product. I know it's a little on the spendy side, but I really believe you get what you pay for. Anyway, I hope this answers any questions you might have about the SIG MCX. I freaking love this rifle. This is an amazing, very capable platform. Anyway, as with everything, thanks for watching. Thanks for your subscribes. If you like what I'm doing, like it. I'm going to keep showing more gun stuff, more furniture builds, pretty much all of my fun stuff.